What if the most valuable coin in your pocket is hiding in plain sight? A small golden $1 coin that 50 million people overlook could become a major collector discovery when the right mint mark, rare variety, unusual edge lettering, or genuine mint era is found. Today we are counting down 4 of the most valuable and highly searched American presidential $1 golden coins with P and D mint marks, and dirt rusty, and some good condition. Coins connected to the history of the American presidency and the powerful world of rare coin collecting. Some remarkable examples have attracted serious collector attention and impressive market prices. So before you spend that ordinary-looking dollar, check it closely, because your pocket change could hold a fascinating numismatic surprise. Let's get started. Step 1. Imagine finding a golden-colored dollar coin in your pocket change, and suddenly discovering that the small piece of American history in your hand could attract serious attention from collectors around the world. Today we are taking a fascinating look at the 2008 Martin Van Buren presidential $1 coin with the P mint mark, a coin connected to the 8th President of the United States and one of the most interesting designs from the presidential dollar series. But there is an important distinction that every collector should understand. The ordinary 2008 P Martin Van Buren dollar is generally a common modern coin rather than a thousands or millions of dollars rarity, while unusual mint errors, exceptional certified condition, special finishes, and remarkable varieties can command much stronger prices. So if you have one in your collection or pocket change, stay with me because the details around the date, mint mark, edge lettering, condition, and possible error can completely change the collector interest and market value of the coin. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what makes this presidential dollar worth examining closely. So let us begin with the history behind this remarkable American coin. Martin Van Buren served as the 8th President of the United States from 1837 to 1841, and his presidential dollar became the 8th design released under the Presidential Dollar Coin Program. The 2008 P issue was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, with PCGS reporting a mintage of 531,520,000 pieces for the regular position B variety. The coin has a diameter of 2,650 millimeters and a weight of 810 grams, and it is made from a copper-based manganese-brass composition rather than solid gold, which explains its attractive golden appearance. On the obverse you see the portrait of Martin Van Buren, along with his name and the inscription identifying him as the 8th president and giving his presidential years, 1837 to 1841. While the reverse features the Statue of Liberty and the $1 denomination, the edge is especially important because presidential dollars carry edge lettering, including the date and mint mark, and the P indicates Philadelphia, making the edge one of the first places a collector should carefully inspect. Now comes the exciting part, the unique features that can turn an ordinary-looking presidential dollar into a coin that deserves much closer attention. The 2008 P Martin Van Buren dollar exists in different edge lettering positions and varieties, and collectors also pay special attention to coins where the edge lettering is missing, weak, doubled, misplaced, or otherwise unusual. PCGS records a recognized missing edge lettering variety for the Martin Van Buren issue. And this is exactly why collectors should never judge the coin only by its golden color or face value. The portrait, date, mint mark, edge lettering, and overall strike all need to be examined together. A genuine mint-made error can be substantially more interesting than an ordinary circulated example, and certified examples of unusual varieties can attract dedicated collectors who specialize in presidential dollars. Therefore, the edge of this coin is not simply a decorative feature. It can be one of the most important areas for discovering collector value. Condition is another major factor in the market. A coin that has spent years circulating through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets will normally show marks, scratches, and surface wear, while a sharply preserved example with bright surfaces, strong details, and minimal contact marks can attract much greater collector attention. Professional grading becomes especially important when a coin appears exceptionally preserved or contains a suspected mint error. Because certification can establish authenticity, variety, and grade in a way that gives buyers greater confidence. Current PCGS pricing data shows that regular 2008 P. Martin Van Buren examples can remain relatively affordable across many mint state grades, while certain high-grade examples and special varieties rise substantially, and PCGS also lists much stronger values for particular missing edge lettering and satin finish pieces, demonstrating that rarity and condition rather than the presidential name alone are what create the serious collector premium. This is where the real treasure hunt begins, because two coins with the same date and P mint mark can have dramatically different collector interest depending on what is actually present on the coin. When people hear the words rare coin and valuable coin, they often imagine a coin worth 1,000s, 400s of 6,000s, or even 25 millions of dollars, and online videos sometimes claim extraordinary prices for ordinary presidential dollars. But the real collector market requires careful identification before assigning such numbers. The regular 2008 P. Martin Van Buren dollar is not normally a thousands to millions of dollars coin. PCGS currently lists regular mint state examples at modest levels, while documented special varieties and errors can move into higher dollar territory. For example, PCGS reports a $1,249 auction record for a 2008 P. Martin Van Buren Position B first day of issue example graded MS67, while its current guide also shows significantly higher figures for certain exceptional or unusual varieties, including high-grade satin finish and missing edge lettering pieces. This is the important message for anyone searching pocket change. The huge value is not automatically hiding inside every Martin Van Buren dollar. The opportunity comes from identifying the exact variety, authentic mint era, exceptional grade, or special issue. And that is what separates a normal $1 coin from a potentially desirable collector piece. The biggest opportunity for collectors is therefore careful examination, especially around the edge lettering, because the presidential dollar series became well known for edge lettering varieties and errors. Take the coin under good lighting and rotate it slowly. Inspect the complete edge for the date, mint mark, and inscriptions. Then compare the lettering with a verified reference example. Look for genuine mint characteristics rather than damage caused after the coin left the mint, because scratches, filing, grinding, or environmental damage do not automatically create a valuable mint error. If you believe you have something unusual, avoid cleaning or polishing the coin, since cleaning can permanently reduce collector appeal. Instead, preserve the coin in its original condition and consider professional authentication and grading when the suspected variety appears significant. Collectors should also record where the coin came from and keep photographs of the obverse, reverse, and edge, because documentation can help establish the story and authenticity of an unusual piece. For collectors building a serious presidential dollar collection, the Martin Van Buren 2008 P issue can be an excellent historical addition because it combines American presidential history, modern United States mint technology, edge lettering varieties, and the excitement of searching ordinary-looking coins for unusual characteristics. The coin represents a period when the United States was releasing a continuing series honoring the nation's presidents. And its design gives collectors an attractive way to connect American history with numismatics. The P mint mark makes the Philadelphia origin easy to identify, while the edge provides another layer of information that is not found on many traditional coins. This combination makes the coin especially interesting for collectors who enjoy variety collecting, era collecting, and condition collecting. And the strongest demand naturally develops around coins that can be authenticated and clearly identified as scarce or unusual examples, rather than simply being described as rare without evidence. So what should you remember if you discover a 2008 Martin Van Buren P mint mark dollar today? Remember that the coin has a genuine place in American numismatic history. Remember that the ordinary example is generally worth around its face value or a modest premium depending on condition. And remember that unusual varieties, verified mint errors, special finishes, and top certified grades can create substantially stronger collector demand. Current PCGS information demonstrates that some specialized examples have values reaching into the 1200s of $50, while exceptional certified pieces and unusual varieties can command considerably more than ordinary circulation examples. However, claims of $8,000 to $30 million should never be accepted simply because a video or online listing says so. Real market value comes from documented sales, recognized varieties, professional certification, rarity, and buyer demand, and that is the positive opportunity every collector has, because careful research can reveal characteristics that are impossible to notice at first glance. The 2008 P. Martin Van Buren presidential dollar is therefore much more than a simple golden-colored $1 coin. It is a piece of presidential history, a product of the United States Mint, and an excellent example of how date, mint mark, edge lettering, variety, condition, and authentication can influence the collector market. If you have one sitting in a drawer, coin jar, or collection, take another look at the portrait, inspect the reverse, and most importantly, examine every part of the edge, because the real excitement of coin collecting comes from discovering exactly what you have, not simply guessing a price. And if your coin has a documented error or an exceptionally rare variety, professional evaluation can be the next step toward discovering its genuine market position. Keep searching your change, keep learning the details, and never overlook a coin simply because it looks ordinary at first glance. Step 2. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar or checking your pocket change and discovering a golden-colored presidential dollar connected to Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States, a coin that could make any collector stop and look twice. Today we are exploring the 2009 Zachary Taylor presidential $1 coin, the coin associated with the 12th presidency from 1849 to 1850, and especially the Philadelphia issue carrying no visible mint mark. Because the absence of a mint mark is an important characteristic of Philadelphia-struck United States coins from this series, but the real excitement begins when we examine its edge lettering, condition, varieties, and possible mint errors. This coin can be a fascinating piece of American history and a highly interesting target for collectors searching pocket change, old collections, and coin jars. So stay with me because we are going to explore its history, unique features, rarity, collector demand, market value, and the important details that can help you determine whether your Zachary Taylor dollar is an ordinary example or a much more unusual collectible. Zachary Taylor became the 12th President of the United States and served from 1849 until his death in 1850, giving his presidency a very short place in American history, and that historical background gives his presidential dollar an especially memorable identity among collectors. The Zachary Taylor presidential dollar was released in 2009 as part of the United States Mint presidential $1 coin program, with the Philadelphia issue carrying the P Mint designation on the edge rather than on the portrait side, meaning that a coin found with no obvious mint mark on its face should not automatically be considered an error. The design features a portrait of Zachary Taylor on the obverse, while the reverse carries the Statue of Liberty and the $1 denomination, and the edge contains important inscriptions and identifying information, including the date and mint mark. This means collectors need to examine the entire coin rather than looking only at the front, because one of the most important clues can be hidden around the edge. One of the most fascinating features of the Zachary Taylor presidential dollar is its golden appearance, which can make the coin look like it is made from gold. But the standard presidential dollar is actually a copper core coin with a manganese brass outer layer, giving it that distinctive golden color. The obverse portrait gives the coin its presidential character, while the Statue of Liberty on the reverse represents a powerful national symbol, and the edge lettering adds another level of collecting interest. Collectors examine the edge for the date, mint mark, and inscriptions, and unusual edge lettering can sometimes identify a recognized variety or mint error. This is why a coin that looks rusty, dark, or heavily toned should still be examined carefully before any decision is made. Because surface appearance alone does not determine rarity, the most important question is whether the coin has a recognized variety, genuine mint error, or another characteristic that creates demand among collectors. Now let us talk about rarity and condition, because this is where collector demand becomes especially interesting. A heavily circulated coin can show scratches, discoloration, dark toning, or environmental staining, while a carefully preserved example may retain much stronger original details and surfaces. But when collectors search for valuable presidential dollars, they are often looking beyond simple appearance and concentrating on identifiable varieties and errors. Particularly edge lettering mistakes, missing edge lettering, doubled lettering, unusual placement, and other documented production characteristics, an authentic mint error can create far more interest than ordinary wear, while an exceptionally high-grade coin can also attract serious attention from registry set collectors. So if you have a Zachary Taylor dollar with no visible mint mark, do not immediately assume that the missing mark itself makes the coin extremely rare. Instead, examine the edge carefully and compare the lettering with authenticated examples, because the Philadelphia Mint identification may be located on the edge and can be difficult to see when the coin is worn or dirty. When it comes to the current market value, this is the point where excitement needs to be combined with accurate identification. The standard Zachary Taylor presidential dollar is generally not a $5,000s or $15 millions coin, and no responsible collector should automatically assign a huge price simply because the coin has a presidential portrait or no visible mint mark. However, documented errors, recognized varieties, special finishes, and exceptional certified grades can command significantly higher prices than ordinary circulation examples, and some remarkable presidential dollar errors have reached $900s or even $3,000s of $20 in documented transactions depending on rarity and condition. The strongest values come from coins that can be proven to be genuine, unusual, and desirable to collectors. So when someone says that a Zachary Taylor dollar is worth 1,000s, 7 of 9,000s, or even 35 millions, the critical question is always, what exact variety is it? What is the certification? And what comparable coins have actually sold for in the market? This is how collectors separate genuine market value from unrealistic asking prices. For someone searching pocket change, the best strategy is to slow down and inspect the coin carefully, use a bright light, and examine the obverse portrait, reverse design, and especially the entire edge. Check the date and mint information, look closely for unusual lettering, missing sections, or other characteristics that appear to be part of the original minting process rather than damage that happened later. A rusty or dirty appearance can make details difficult to see. So gentle handling and proper preservation are important. Never polish or aggressively clean a potentially valuable coin, because collectors generally want original surfaces, and cleaning can damage the coin's appeal. If you discover something that appears genuinely unusual, compare it with reputable numismatic references and consider professional authentication or grading, because certification can provide an independent assessment of the coin's identity, variety, and condition. And that can be extremely valuable when a coin appears to have a significant error or exceptional rarity. The collector demand for presidential dollars comes from several different groups, including presidential history collectors, modern United States coin collectors, era collectors, variety specialists, and people who enjoy searching circulation coins for unexpected discoveries. And Zachary Taylor has an especially interesting historical story because his presidency lasted only about 16 months, making his appearance in the presidential dollar series a memorable tribute to a short but important chapter of American leadership. The combination of presidential history, the golden appearance, edge lettering, and possible varieties makes this coin an enjoyable addition to a collection, even when the example is not an extraordinary rarity. And if a particular specimen contains a documented error or a scarce variety, its appeal can become considerably stronger. This is why collectors should not simply ask whether the coin is old or looks unusual. They should ask what makes this exact coin different from the millions of ordinary examples. There is also an important point about the phrase "no mint mark," because many collectors discover the coin by looking at the front and noticing that there is no P, D, or S symbol near the portrait. But presidential dollars are different from many older American coins because the mint mark was placed on the edge along with the date and inscriptions. So a coin with no visible mint mark on the face is not automatically a rare missing mint mark error if the edge is worn, stained, or damaged. The lettering may be difficult to read, and this can create the impression that the mint mark is missing. Therefore, the edge must be examined closely before declaring a rare error. A genuine missing edge lettering variety is a different matter and can have meaningful collector interest when properly authenticated. This simple detail is one of the most important lessons for anyone hunting presidential dollars in pocket change. So what is your Zachary Taylor Liberty $1 golden coin worth today? The honest answer depends on the exact variety, mint origin, condition, certification, and whether it contains a genuine mint error. An ordinary circulated example generally remains close to its $1 denomination, while collectible mint state pieces can bring premiums, and unusual authenticated varieties or errors can reach much higher levels. In exceptional cases across the broader presidential dollar era market, major examples have sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars, but claims of values reaching millions should be treated as extraordinary claims requiring extraordinary proof. The real opportunity is not that every Zachary Taylor dollar is secretly worth a fortune. The opportunity is that a careful collector can identify a rare variety that other people overlook. And that is exactly what makes pocket change hunting so exciting, because the value is created by rarity, condition, authenticity, and collector demand rather than by the golden color alone. In conclusion, the Zachary Taylor Presidential $1 golden coin is a fascinating piece of American history and an exciting coin for anyone interested in rare coins, era coins, and modern United States numismatics. The 12th president's short time in office gives this issue a distinctive historical story, while the presidential portrait, Statue of Liberty reverse, and edge lettering make it an interesting coin to inspect, if you find one with no visible mint mark on the face. Remember to examine the edge, because that is where the mint information belongs on this series, and if the coin has unusual lettering, a suspected missing edge lettering variety, or another genuine mint error, preserve it carefully and seek professional identification before making any claims about its value. The greatest lesson is simple: never judge a coin only by its appearance, because the smallest detail can sometimes be the detail that collectors are searching for. Keep checking your pocket change. Keep learning about varieties and errors, and keep your eyes open for the next fascinating American coin discovery. Step 3. Imagine finding a golden-colored $1 coin in your pocket change and suddenly realizing that it carries the name of Franklin Pierce, the 14th President of the United States, a coin connected to American history, presidential collecting, and the fascinating world of mint varieties and errors. Today we are taking a closer look at the 2010 Franklin Pierce Presidential $1 coin with the D mint mark, especially an example described as being in very fine condition. And we are going to explore why collectors examine these coins so carefully. The Franklin Pierce dollar was created as part of the United States Presidential $1 coin program. And although the ordinary issue is a modern collectible rather than an automatic fortune, unusual errors, scarce varieties, exceptional condition, and professionally certified examples can attract strong collector attention. So if you have one in your collection, an old coin jar, or even your pocket change, stay with me because we are going to uncover the history, unique design features, rarity factors, condition, collector demand, market value, and the details that could make an ordinary-looking presidential dollar much more interesting. Franklin Pierce became the 14th President of the United States and served from 1853 to 1857, and his place in American history was later honored through the Presidential Dollar Series. The Franklin Pierce Presidential Dollar was issued in 2010, making it an interesting modern United States coin connected to a 19th-century president. The Denver issue carries the D mint mark. And on this series, the mint mark is found on the edge rather than beside the presidential portrait. The obverse presents the portrait of Franklin Pierce with his name and presidential identification, while the reverse features the Statue of Liberty and the $1 denomination. The edge lettering provides another important collecting feature because it contains the date, mint mark, and inscriptions. This means that collectors should examine the entire coin rather than focusing only on the portrait. And a D mint mark example gives collectors a direct connection to production at the Denver Mint, adding another layer of interest to this presidential series. One of the most recognizable characteristics of the Franklin Pierce dollar is its beautiful golden color, but this appearance should not be confused with a coin made from solid gold. Presidential dollars were produced with a copper core and a manganese brass outer layer, giving them their distinctive golden appearance. The Franklin Pierce portrait gives the coin a strong historical identity. The Statue of Liberty reverse provides the familiar national symbol, and the edge lettering makes the coin particularly interesting for variety collectors, because the edge can reveal information that is not visible from the front or back. Collectors examine the lettering for unusual spacing, doubled features, missing lettering, unusual positioning, and other characteristics that may indicate a recognized variety or mint era. Therefore, a 2010 D. Franklin Pierce dollar in very fine condition deserves a careful inspection, especially around the edge, because the combination of date, mint mark, condition, and variety is what determines whether the coin is simply a collectible dollar or something with a more specialized collector premium. Rarity and condition are two of the biggest factors influencing demand. A very fine example can show noticeable circulation but still retain the major design details, while coins preserved in higher grades can attract stronger interest from collectors seeking exceptionally sharp examples. However, condition alone does not automatically turn a normal presidential dollar into a rare coin. The strongest collector attention generally develops when a coin combines good preservation with a documented variety, authentic mint era, or other scarce characteristic. This is why the Franklin Pierce D dollar should be inspected carefully before any value is estimated. Collectors can look at the portrait details, lettering, surfaces, edge inscriptions, and overall strike, and if something appears unusual. The coin should be compared with trusted numismatic references or examined by a professional grading service. A genuine mint-made era can be especially desirable because it represents an unusual event during production, and such coins can attract dedicated era collectors who are willing to pay premiums for authenticated examples. Now let us move to the question everyone wants answered: what could this coin be worth in today's market? The standard 2010 D. Franklin Pierce presidential dollar is generally not a 2000s or $7 million coin simply because it has the D mint mark or because it is in very fine condition. But that does not remove the excitement from searching for a special example. The real opportunity is found in recognized varieties, genuine mint eras, scarce finishes, and exceptionally high certified grades. And throughout the presidential dollar series, documented major errors have demonstrated that unusual production mistakes can generate substantial collector premiums, sometimes reaching $500s or $2,000s depending on rarity and demand, while extraordinary claims of tens of thousands or millions require strong documentation and actual comparable auction evidence. The important point for collectors is that market value is determined by the exact coin, not just the date and presidential name. So if you discover a Franklin Pierce dollar with an unusual characteristic, the correct approach is to identify the variety, verify authenticity, and then compare it with documented market sales rather than relying on an impressive asking price found online. The D mint mark is particularly important because it identifies the Denver Mint, but collectors should remember that the mint mark on presidential dollars appears along the edge, making the edge one of the most valuable areas for inspection. Rotate the coin carefully under bright light and inspect the complete circumference. Look for the date, D mint mark, and edge inscriptions, and compare the lettering with a trusted reference example. If you notice doubled lettering, missing lettering, unusual spacing, or another striking characteristic, do not immediately clean the coin or attempt to repair it. Preserve the coin in its existing condition and seek expert identification, because collectors value originality and improper cleaning can damage the surfaces. A coin that appears dirty, dark, or aged can still be worth examining, and a professional evaluation can determine whether what you see is a genuine mint era, normal circulation damage, or an established variety. This careful approach can turn a simple pocket change discovery into an exciting numismatic investigation. For collectors, the Franklin Pierce 2010 D dollar can be an excellent addition to a presidential collection because it combines American history with modern coin production. The coin honors a president who served during a significant period of 19th century American development, while the modern design gives collectors an attractive golden-colored representation of his presidency. Collectors can build complete presidential dollar sets, focus on Denver Mint issues, Search for edge lettering varieties or specialize in certified errors and high-grade examples, and this creates several different paths for collector demand. A very fine circulated coin may appeal to someone completing a basic set, while a rare authenticated error can attract a much more specialized audience. The key is knowing exactly what you have and preserving it properly. Because the same date and mint mark can appear on many ordinary examples, while a documented production error can stand apart from the crowd. There is also an important distinction between a coin being old, a coin being rare, and a coin being valuable. The Franklin Pierce dollar was minted in the modern era, so age alone does not make it an expensive rarity. Instead, collectors look for scarcity, condition, unusual varieties, errors, and demand. A coin can be relatively common, but become more interesting in an exceptional grade. While another coin can be valuable because it contains a recognized mint error that occurred during production. This is why collectors should avoid judging a coin simply by its golden appearance or by its presidential history. The true value comes from the specific characteristics of that individual specimen. And this is also why a professional certification can become important when the potential value is significant. Because an authenticated coin gives buyers greater confidence and can make comparison with auction records much easier. So if you have a 2010 Franklin Pierce D Mint Mark Liberty $1 golden coin in very fine condition, take a moment before spending it, examine the portrait, inspect the reverse, and carefully study the entire edge. Check the D Mint mark and date. Look for unusual lettering and compare the coin against reliable references. If you discover an authentic error or recognized scarce variety, preserve it carefully and consider professional grading. The regular coin may remain close to its denomination with a modest collector premium depending on condition, while genuinely scarce errors and exceptional certified pieces can command much stronger prices, sometimes reaching hundreds or thousands of dollars in the broader presidential dollar era market. And although online stories may suggest enormous values reaching from thousands to millions, those extraordinary figures should only be considered when supported by a recognized rarity and documented sales, because real collector value comes from evidence, authenticity, and demand. In conclusion, the 2010 Franklin Pierce Presidential $1 coin with the D Mint mark is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. It connects the 14th President of the United States with the modern presidential dollar program and gives collectors an attractive golden-colored coin with a portrait, Statue of Liberty reverse, and edge lettering. A very fine example can be a meaningful addition to a collection. While an unusual authenticated variety or genuine mint error can create a much more exciting collector opportunity, remember to inspect the edge, because that is where the mint mark and date appear on this series. Avoid cleaning or altering a potentially valuable coin, and use professional authentication when a major error or scarce variety is suspected. Keep checking your pocket change. Coin jars and collections, because the most exciting part of collecting is discovering something that deserves a closer look. Step 4. Imagine checking your pocket change, opening an old coin jar, or looking through a family collection, and suddenly finding a golden-colored $1 coin featuring James Garfield, the 20th President of the United States. A coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but can become extremely interesting when collectors examine its date, mint information, edge lettering, condition, and possible mint errors. Today we are taking a close look at the James Garfield Presidential $1 golden coin. A coin connected to Garfield's short presidency in 1881 and released much later as part of the United States Presidential Dollar Series. And we will explore the history behind this fascinating coin, its unique features, the meaning of a coin with no mint mark visible on the face, rarity, condition, collector demand, and the real market factors that can make certain examples worth far more than their $1 denomination. So stay with me, because this is exactly the type of coin that deserves a careful inspection before you spend it. James A. Garfield was the 20th President of the United States and served during the year 1881. His presidency was remarkably short, lasting only a few months, but his place in American history was later honored through the presidential $1 coin program. The James Garfield presidential dollar was issued in 2011, meaning the 1881 date refers to Garfield's presidency and not the date when this golden dollar was minted. This distinction is extremely important for collectors because the coin is a modern United States mint issue celebrating a 19th century president. The obverse displays a portrait of James Garfield along with his name and presidential identification, while the reverse features the Statue of Liberty and the $1 denomination. The coin has the familiar golden appearance associated with presidential dollars, and one of its most interesting characteristics is the edge lettering, where the date and mint mark are placed, meaning that a coin appearing to have no mint mark when viewed from the front is not automatically a rare missing mint mark error. The unique design of this presidential dollar makes it especially interesting for collectors who enjoy searching for varieties and mint errors. The golden color comes from the coin's copper-based construction with a manganese brass outer layer, rather than from solid gold, while the portrait of Garfield provides the historical focus, and the Statue of Liberty gives the reverse its unmistakable American identity. The edge is where collectors should spend extra time because it contains important inscriptions, including the date and mint mark, and the orientation and condition of this lettering can become important when identifying varieties. Collectors also examine the coin for unusual doubling, missing edge lettering, misplaced lettering, striking abnormalities, and other genuine mint-made characteristics. Therefore, a James Garfield dollar in better condition should never be judged only by its color or the absence of a mint mark on the face. The complete coin must be examined from every angle before its collector potential can be understood. Rarity and condition are two major factors in determining collector demand. A better preserved James Garfield dollar can have stronger visual appeal than a heavily circulated example, especially when the portrait details, lettering, and surfaces remain sharp and attractive. However, the greatest excitement comes when condition is combined with a recognized variety or genuine mint error. Collectors of modern United States coins actively search for unusual presidential dollar characteristics, and authenticated errors can attract specialized buyers who are willing to pay premiums for coins that are difficult to find. If your coin has no mint mark visible on the front, carefully inspect the edge before assuming that it is a rare error, because the mint mark for this series was placed on the edge, and wear, dirt, or damage can make the lettering difficult to read. The absence of a visible mint mark on the portrait side is therefore a normal feature and should not by itself be used to claim an extraordinary value. Now we come to the question that every collector wants answered. What is the market value today? The ordinary James Garfield presidential dollar is generally not a thousands or millions of dollars coin simply because it is connected with a famous president or because no mint mark is visible on the front. But the market can become much more exciting when a coin is identified as a genuine mint error, scarce variety, special issue, or exceptionally high-grade certified example. Documented errors from the presidential dollar series have demonstrated that unusual production mistakes can attract strong premiums, with certain exceptional examples reaching $2,800s or $35,000s of dollars depending on rarity, condition, and demand, while claims of values reaching tens of $35,000s or $55 millions of dollars require extraordinary evidence and should never be accepted simply because an online seller lists an enormous asking price. Real market value comes from authenticated examples and documented transactions. So if you discover something unusual on your Garfield dollar, the goal is not simply to guess the biggest possible number. The goal is to identify the exact variety and determine what collectors have actually paid for comparable examples. If you are searching your pocket change for a valuable James Garfield dollar, start with the date and overall design, then carefully examine both faces and rotate the coin slowly while studying the entire edge. Look for the date, mint mark, and complete edge lettering. Compare the lettering with a trusted reference and pay special attention to characteristics that appear to have been created during the minting process rather than after the coin entered circulation. Scratches, dents, corrosion, and harsh cleaning can create unusual appearances, but they are not automatically valuable mint errors. So collectors should learn the difference between genuine production errors and post-mint damage. If the coin appears especially unusual, avoid polishing, scraping, or cleaning it. preserve it in its existing condition, and consider professional authentication or grading, particularly if the suspected variety appears scarce, because certification can provide confidence about authenticity, condition, and variety, and can make the coin easier to compare with established market records. The James Garfield dollar can also be an attractive addition to a presidential dollar collection because it combines American political history with modern coinage technology. Garfield's short presidency gives the coin an especially memorable historical story, while the modern golden appearance makes it instantly recognizable. Collectors may focus on completing presidential sets, collecting specific mint issues, searching edge lettering varieties, or specializing in modern mint eras, and this broad collector base creates different levels of demand depending on what makes an individual coin special. A normal circulated coin can be a historical collectible. A better preserved example can appeal to condition-focused collectors, and a rare authenticated era can attract a much more specialized audience. This is why every coin should be examined individually rather than assigning the same value to every James Garfield dollar. The exact combination of variety, condition, authenticity, and collector demand determines the real opportunity. There is one especially important point to remember when you hear the phrase "no mint mark," because many people search for the mint mark beside the presidential portrait and believe that its absence means the coin is rare. But presidential dollars place their mint marks on the edge, so the correct place to investigate is the circumference of the coin. A coin can therefore look completely blank of mint information on its front while still being a normal example. And a genuinely unusual edge lettering error is a separate and much more interesting situation. This is why the edge should be photographed clearly if you believe you have discovered something unusual. Collectors should preserve the coin without altering its surfaces and compare it with reliable references before making a value claim. The most valuable discoveries are normally the ones that can be positively identified and documented. And careful identification is what turns excitement into genuine numismatic knowledge. So if you have a James Garfield Liberty $1 golden coin in better condition sitting in your collection or pocket change, do not overlook it. Examine the portrait, reverse, and especially the edge. Remember that the 1881 date relates to Garfield's presidency, while the presidential dollar itself was issued in 2011. And remember that the absence of a mint mark on the front is normal for this series. The real collector opportunity comes from finding a recognized variety. Authentic mint era, scarce issue, or exceptional certified grade. Ordinary examples generally remain near their denomination with possible collector premiums depending on condition, while significant errors and exceptional certified pieces can reach hundreds or thousands of dollars in the broader modern dollar era market. And although exciting stories sometimes suggest values from 45,000 to 50 millions, those extraordinary figures should only be considered when supported by genuine rarity and documented market evidence. Keep searching your change, keep studying the details, and never underestimate the importance of a small feature that other people might completely miss. Thank you so much for watching this rare coin discovery. If you enjoyed learning about the James Garfield Presidential $1 golden coin, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment telling us whether you have ever found a James Garfield dollar in your pocket change, coin jar, or collection. And if you have noticed unusual edge lettering, a possible mint error, or an especially well-preserved example, share your discovery with us, because every unusual coin has a story waiting to be investigated. Keep your eyes open, keep learning, and keep checking those coins before spending them, because the real excitement of collecting comes from discovering something unexpected and understanding exactly what makes it special. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next rare coin video.